Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, NobodyKarens. I am Karen, and thank you so much for tuning in with me, and thank you so much for watching my very first video ever on YouTube. I am so happy to have you back here with me so I can share this incredible journey I'm going through with my health. I am having a little bit of a sore throat issue, so just bear with me. I just couldn't help but film today because I want to get this story out as fast as it's happening. So fast forward to July 6th, I believe, of 2015, and I was in a lot of pain, and it was my lower right hand side of my back, and I didn't quite know what it could be. I thought maybe it was cramps. That's always the first thing that women go towards is cramps, because a lot of us will get cramps in our back, as well as in the front area as well. So I called my boss and I said, I'm not feeling that well today at all. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm gonna have to call out. And we were right in the middle of our busy season. I worked for a moving company, and as a lot of you know, July is a busy month for people who are moving. Why people decide to move in the summertime, I don't know, but it happens. I know I probably have moved in the summertime. So I did call out, and I thought, give it a day, it'll pass, I'll be fine. As the day went on, the pain didn't seem to lessen. It seemed like it was getting worse, or it was staying consistently at a pretty good high. I took some aspirin for it, hoping that it would go away, and it did not. It didn't help really. And so the next day I called my boss and I said, I'm still in a lot of pain. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I have a feeling it has something to do with my kidneys. I have been in this kind of pain in before, and I'm thinking, maybe I have a kidney stone. I called my doctor and I got in as soon as I could. I was so excited because I had insurance. I had just gotten insurance the previous month, so in June, and I was so ecstatic. I have never met anyone so excited to go to the doctor except for me. I have never been so excited to go to the doctor in my life. And but anyways, so I made an appointment to see my doctor, and I went in and I let them know I was having issues with my back, that I had a history of kidney stones, and that I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was. And so they said, okay, well, let's set up an ultrasound and let's see what's going on, because I was in a lot of pain, and the only thing they could prescribe me was Tylenol 3, which is basically Tylenol with codeine. And if you've ever had a kidney stone, you will know that that's not exactly the most effective medicine that you can have. It's like popping regular aspirin. It really doesn't do anything for you. So I waited a couple days because I know sometimes referrals take a while, for the next company to get them. And I called my doctor and I said, I haven't gotten a phone call to have my ultrasound done yet, and they said, okay, no problem. We'll see if it's been sent. Well, come to find out, it wasn't sent. And I was kind of pissed off about it because I'm like, I'm here in a lot of pain, and I am needing some help. I need to find out what's going on. In the meantime, I still wasn't going to work. I had tried, I don't know how many times, to get up in the morning, I'd get ready, I'd start to make that trip, and I'd end up turning right back around because I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand the pain. About a week and a half after my first appointment, I called my doctor again and I said, what is going on? I haven't gotten a call for my ultrasound. Did you even send it in? And they didn't. So they were like, okay, we're gonna set, I ended up having to make an appointment to go in to make sure my doctor sent the referral because she was taking forever. And I'm sitting here not working and trying to get through life when I'm in pain that's basically causing me to curl up in my bed with a heating pad and not move. It hurt to breathe. That's how much pain I was in. I thought if I hold my breath, maybe, just maybe, the pain will go away for like 2 seconds. And it never did. Finally, at the end of July, I had my ultrasound done. And luckily, around the same time, my boss was able to find an app on my phone and to bring me some equipment to where I could work from home. And I was so thankful for that, because I don't know very many bosses that would, one, make you help you work from home, and two, wait so long. I finally had my ultrasound done, and you go in and they always say, they have you sign that paper that says, don't ask the ultrasound tag any questions. They're not allowed to tell you anything, and they just take the pictures and whatever. Well, this tech was like, have you had a past, because they always ask you, oh, what are you in, why are you here today? And I let her know, I think I have kidney stones. And so as she's doing the ultrasound, she asked me, have you had kidney stones in the past? And I was like, yeah. But it's been, over 10 years. And she said, okay, and then she asked if I've had any x-rays or CT scans or ultrasounds, recently. And I was like, no, I haven't had insurance in a long time. So I am just, I just barely started going to the doctor, a little over a month ago. And she was like, okay. And she looked concerned. I'm not gonna, you can tell sometimes when those texts are like pretty concerned, especially with her asking any questions. So I had that done, and then I got a phone call that day, actually, later that day, from a doctor that was not my doctor. I had a woman doctor, and this was a male doctor that called me. My doctor was out at a different location, and he said, we got your ultrasound back, and we found a mass that is close to your bladder kidney area, or on that area. And my heart dropped a little bit, because cancer runs in my family, and the word mass always sounds so bad, like when you hear that, because you always hear about, oh, someone found a mass in their breast, or a mass in their liver, or mass in their kidney. And I was a little afraid that, what if it's cancer? Like, oh my goodness. So just for that brief time in between not knowing, you think the worst, and that's exactly what I did. They had me get a CT scan done, and I had to drink that horrible, nasty ass contrast. And it wasn't like some little tiny bottle. It was like a bottle like this big. I had to drink 2 bottles of contrast, and it's that milky white nasty stuff. And I got like cherry or grape or something, and it doesn't help. Flavors don't help. It's just gonna taste bad no matter what you do. And some people say, oh, well, you can dilute it in water. No, I don't want to create more of it for me to drink. I just want to drink it, and I want it to be fast. So I drink it with a straw. That often helps. This sounds funny. That often helps it go straight down your throat quicker. So I did the contrast, had the CT scan done, and I saw the urologist, and he said, you have kidney stones. And he said stones, not kidney stone. And I was like, okay. And I said, they told me I had a large mass in there. He goes, large is an understatement. he pretty much was aiming at that those were that this was pretty big. So it wasn't that I had one stone, it wasn't that I had two stones, it wasn't that I had a little tiny cluster of like 2 stones or 3 stones. It was basically, you know, picture your kidney and picture all the stones in it. My kidney was basically full of stones, and I will show you a little video I made that I tried to explain to other people what exactly was happening with my kidneys. So
these are a normal person's kidneys. These are my kidneys. Those are my kidney stones.
I basically had a kidney full of stones, and not only was it in my right kidney, it is also in my left kidney. Thank God I'm only having pain in the right one, because I don't know what I would do if I had pain in both sides of my back. I mean, that would drive someone absolutely crazy. But I was scared. I was nervous. I didn't know what to think of that. And there was no, you'll be able to pass these with no problem. It was, you have to have these surgically removed. So passing them naturally was absolutely out of the question. They are too large to pass. They are just over 4 centimeters. And 4 centimeters doesn't seem like a lot, but I mean, that's like 2 inches worth of stone in your body. Like, and I call them boulders. They're not stones, they're boulders growing in my body. And it doesn't help because I'm a diabetic. I'm already always thirsty, and I drink a ton of water. And when I say ton, I mean a ton. Anyone who knows me knows I love water, and I drink more water than any person I know. So when you have a kidney full of stone, that's all absorbing water too. So I am like always like, oh my gosh, I'm thirsty. I don't go anywhere without water. So there's my mountain water. And he said, I'm going to refer you to a doctor, to another urologist, who I'm already looking at a urologist face to face right now. And he says, I'm going to refer you to another urologist, and he specializes in the size stone that you have. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're kidding. This guy doesn't even want to deal with me because my stones are so big. Yeah, so I got in to see him, and he was a really cool guy, and he told me, you know, it's not going to be a one and done surgery. It is going to take multiple surgeries, and it's going to take that for each kidney. So not one surgery, not 2 surgeries, but multiple surgeries on each kidney. I was like, oh my goodness. And I've only had my tonsils taken out, and I had surgery on my left breast. I'm not gonna lie, it made me very nervous, very anxious. I mean, my anxiety level was through the roof, and my depression levels, you know, getting a little high, because at this point I'm still working from home. I'm not able to really go very many places because the pain is so bad that I'm kind of stuck in my apartment. Got my surgery scheduled finally for November 18th of 2015, and my pre-op was somewhere around the first week of November. I have my breakfast, I go in, and for some reason I didn't think, oh, they're gonna check my sugar, because I'm still battling diabetes. I haven't lost enough weight to where I'm in the clear, or I have my sugar under control by any means. And I just didn't think about it, and they checked my sugar through blood work, and they did the EKG, which looked fine. Everything was good to go. I leave, and the next day I get a phone call from the hospital that did my pre-op, where I'm supposed to have my surgery, and they said, Karen, they said, your sugar, when we checked it yesterday, was 600. 600. It wasn't even that high when I was diagnosed with diabetes. And they said, you really need to go to the hospital. You need to go to emergency. You need to be treated. That is absolutely hospitalization, hands down. If I were to go to a doctor that day, right then, right there, they prick my finger, check my blood, on a regular monitor, they would either call an ambulance or they would have sent me straight to the hospital. So I hear what the girl is telling me, and I'm just thinking, oh my god, I shouldn't have had that breakfast yesterday morning. That was the worst thing I could have done. And I told her, I said my sugar's not normally that high. It's never that high. I've never been that high. And she said, well, we strongly suggest that you go to the ER. And did I listen? No, I didn't. I thought, like I said, it's never that high. It's because I had that really bad breakfast. And, I was like, no, I hate going to the ER. I was worried about, emergency bill because they're never cheap. And I was just like, no, I'm not going to do it. So, they told me that due to the fact that my sugar is 600, they were going to have to postpone my surgery. That was for November 18th. And she couldn't tell me when they would be able to reschedule it. But right now, it would just, when you're diabetic, you're already in high risk for infection after surgery. And so I needed to get my sugar under control, so that way the risk of me getting infection wouldn't be so bad. And I was pretty devastated. I couldn't believe that I had let myself get that bad. And, I needed to have this surgery done. I had already figured it out with my boss that I would take this time off of work to have my surgery, and then I would come back in between surgeries. And thankfully he was going to work with me with that, and that was just how it was going to have to go. I couldn't afford to not work, and I was really I felt like I let myself down, and I was pretty depressed after that. Because I didn't know how, no one could give me a definite time on when I have my sugar under control. I mean, that was completely up to me, not anyone else. It was up to me to, make changes and to get my sugar under control. So that was, a hard time for me. And then, let alone because I was in so much pain all the time. I lived on the heating pad, thank God. I mean, I even had a rash from the heating pad because I would lay on it so much. I was let go from my job. Like I said, we had hired a third person in the office, and because she was able to go into the office and I wasn't, he had no other choice but to keep her and let go of me. And he told me, if you weren't having issues with your health, I would definitely keep you. There wouldn't be even a question. I wouldn't even be having this conversation with you. And I understood, I completely understood from a business standpoint. That's what, that's what he had to do. But now it was, I had to lean on my parents financially to help me out, mentally to keep me sane, and emotionally to help me through it. And I have really great parents, and I'll probably say that a lot, and thankfully we made it work where money was tight, but that you always find ways to save money and to cut back and just to make things work. And I know that put a strain on my parents, and I felt horrible for doing it, but I had to have these surgeries done. There wasn't any ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so that's where I'm going to leave you with today. So you need to find out if and when I am going to have my first surgery. So recap real quick. I had my ultrasound, my CT scan, I found a urologist, and I had the disappointment of having my surgery postponed, and my sugar was 600. So you need to stay tuned to find out what I did to get my sugar under control and what else was next to happen. Thank you so much for tuning in this time. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe with your friends and family, coworkers, whoever, and just let them know that, that everyone struggles, and that, if you need a friend during your struggle, I am definitely here. You will definitely benefit from hearing the story and what I have gone through. It has been a rough and bumpy road, but we can get through it together. So thank you again, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.